There I be.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Crosskeys match. We've got Rick and Mike doing the calming for you. I've got Eek here and Papa Bell doing the tracking, and I'm here, and I got Pix with me as well to help with the restream tonight. And I'm going to hand you over to the people that are talking so that they can talk.
Hello, everyone. We are excited to see some more Crosskeys action. We've got Relkin and Megawott matched up for you. They are in the 5-1 round of the Swiss bracket, and this should be an excellent match tonight. How are you doing tonight, Rick?
Doing pretty well. So the winner of this race is going to be assured at least the play-in race. The loser, well, let's just say they'll be sweating coming up here for next week, the finale week.
Yeah, the 7-1 folks are definitely going to make it into groups. 6-2 is where you get into a playoff sort of situation. So 6-1 is definitely where you want to be going into the last week if you are one of these two runners.
So we'll get to see what winds up happening for both of these runners. These two are very familiar in the Link to the Past Randomizer community. Relkin wears many hats, I know. Of course, he won the SG Live tournament back last year, the in-person one in Herndon. We also know that he's doing some stuff in the Spoiler Log tournament. Of course, he's done some stuff in various other tournaments and also in the speedrunning community as well.
And yeah, obviously both of them have been doing quite well in this tourney so far. Relkin got to 5-0 and then ran up against Error, so no shame there. And Megawatt's only loss has been to Top Life, I believe.
Yeah, I think those are pretty solid names.
Yeah, that Error guy in particular, I hear he's pretty good at this game.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid person at this stage of competition. So yeah, I think we're going to be in for quite a treat here in this race. We're going to get to see some good execution. Also, hopefully, some good routing from both of these runners. I'm looking forward to this one. This is a race that definitely I looked at when they said they needed people to help out with this race. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, excited to get this one started. So while we're waiting for them to kick off, how are you opening your Crosskeys races this time around?
For me, I usually do the Sanctuary start to see at least eliminate one of my drop downs and also get an idea of planning out what my route's going to be on the save and quits. Now, of course, there are certain Sanctuary locations where you go, I'm looking at you, Hyrule Castle.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm going to polarize chat here because I am a filthy uncle router through and through, so I will usually start at Link's house and then walk up from there.
But do you do... Sorry about that, but do you end up doing the Houlihan start?
Sometimes. It sort of depends on what I find, what that first tree pull is, all of that kind of stuff, but...
Alright, we're going to get ready for this race here. I think we've got ourselves a timer up on the screen, which means we're getting ready to start off this race. I do believe as we go through this race, we will be hearing different soundtracks from both of these runners. Relkin's using the Mario Galaxy MSU pack, and Megawatt's going to be doing the Xenoblade mix pack. So we'll have some fun with the audio. Let's get going. Where do you think that Sanctuary is going to be?
Let's go pure evil and get that in the Dark World. Both of them starting at Link's house, though.
Yeah, starting off with a nice fresh 20. But we do see Relkin now changing things up just a little bit here, and we are going to see where our Sanctuary is, and it's vanilla. So what do you do with the vanilla start?
I think Relkin's got the right idea. Gonna go ahead and Houlihan, and then probably you just walk over to CAC and farm some bombs along the way.
And we did not see anything at the potion shop, I do believe. We are going to see what is our useless fairy drop down, and that's Ganon, so that's good to get off our to-do list already.
Very high pressure Houlihan here. If you mess it up, you'll get called a dingus. Nobody wants that.
Why would you want to be called a dingus? After pulling off those 225 rupees, we are going to see your route. So what do you think is going to be over here? What drop down do you think is going to be here at Hyrule Castle?
I think the well is funniest since they have 0 bombs, but again, that might just be the evil Twitch chatter in me.
No, they don't have bombs anymore. Or they don't have 0 bombs anymore. Nice tier 1 tree pull. Unfortunately, it's the most unwanted drop down.
Yeah, very nice tree pull though, so.
And another useless result here with the tavern found at Hyrule Castle. Pretty nice pub they made it out to be.
This does work out pretty well for Megawott, though, having those bombs, and we'll be able to just walk to Kakariko from here, pick up some entrances along the way.
So Relkin ended up getting the next tier tree pull, which is all rupee. So he does not know about the bombs.
That's a little unlucky, but those 50-50 bushes are right along the way, so.
The crabs are not giving you anything that you want either, so we're not going to worry about them as we find the old man home located over here at the Lumberjack House. And just what you want to see, the well behind defeating Aga 1.
Oh my goodness, that's annoying.
So as we head up here towards the Lost Woods, we're going to see the anti-hype cave, because you look at it, you start to go in, you're like, oh, this could be the hype cave, and then nope, it's not. Meanwhile, Relkin is getting rather destroyed by the 50-50 luck.
Yeah, big air quotes on that 50-50 as usual.
And we find ourselves Vanilla over here at the Lost Woods. And Megawott, who didn't need bombs, gets more bombs. King's Tomb located over here in the entry towards Kakariko Village. This is good for Relkin, considering the fact that he had little bombs.
Yeah, those 3 definitely come in handy. Vanilla Fortune Teller, or close enough.
Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of entrances coming our way over here. Saw bombs over at the race game. We see Bumper Bottom, that is, and Super Bunny. All right, so we're getting connectors all over the place.
That is a very awkward spot for Super Bunny. If you had a closer way to get back to Kakariko, you might just follow that right now and get those 2 items, but you don't want to close out your Kakariko trip already.
Yeah. And, some of the higher... Oh, that's a bottle that's located over here at the well. Not the well, the magic bat. Broccoli Man has been located. And our first map of the seed, it belongs to Desert Palace.
We did also see that Aga Tower in the north part of the village, so maybe that well will come into play sooner than we thought it would.
Yeah, but we're still missing several items that will allow us to actually go ahead and do that. Obviously, you still need to get a sword for the curtain up on the 6th floor. You're going to need to have the 2 keys and also, logically, a lamp, although some can do it without the lamp. Speaking of sword, there you go.
Hey, 1 down. I gotta say, if Link would just put a couple of skill points into lockpicking, he could save himself a lot of time.
Skull Woods is our green pendant. And we get the Harris Small as well. So we do know that Sahaswala cannot drop the Moon Pearl. And we find ourselves the Mimic Cave over here at the front of the tavern. And if you need rupees, well, there you go. There's the arrow game, although we hula hand our way up to 350 for Relkin, so probably not. And Relkin's bomb luck continues here on the 50/50s. Hookshot Cave found here in the bottom left of the village. And the dam, which is what Relkin's about to walk into.
That's another one nice to find early before you walk past that item along the south shore.
Oh, yeah.
Although you do normally want a glove before you head in that direction, since there are a couple of those entrances behind rocks down there. But nothing too exciting in Kakariko here.
Yeah, I kind of think that this might be setting up for a situation where walking out and going to the Super Bunny Cave might actually be the best strat.
Yeah, this is going to work out pretty well for Megawott, who's going north to south, so he'll sort of wind up right at that Super Bunny Cave, and will be much happier to end his trip in there.
Relkin finding Aga Tower here, and he is going to go ahead and attempt the first room. Not too difficult here, just got to manage these ball and chain guards.
Yeah, I was just about to shout out the early sword as kind of an underrated item for Crosskeys. You know, if you run into Aga Tower or Hyrule Castle, that's really nice to have.
And we are rewarded with a small key to Hyrule Castle. So everything in Hyrule Castle, except for Dark Cross, will be in logic for Relkin. Well, the back 3 are not in logic until we get a glove. Chat talking about being locksmiths. Now I'm wondering exactly what is that one NPC, the one that actually does open up the purple chest. What does he do to pick the lock?
It's a good question. I mean, maybe he's just a very good rogue, and so, you know, he rolls high on deception. You don't even see him pick the lock. He's just like a magician there.
Anyway, Megawatt tried to bomb his way over the hole, but once he got bothered by the enemy, it kind of affected his timing, and as such had to abort out of the play, especially down to 1 heart. And 1 1/4 hearts coming out as your reward for Super Bunny. But Megawatt getting the full magic refill, which is nice in the early stage when you don't have any. And, well, that's a connector we're going to be probably looking at later.
Definitely a good one to know about, finding the left side of the Turtle Rock ledge there.
And Megawatt saying, nope, I want nothing of this.
Yeah, you could do a quick bunny revive, but you really want to go kill some pokies with a fighter sword.
Another connector right here. This would, of course, be Spectacle Rock. And chat noting how Megawatt has not checked the medallion. And Megawatt doing the best so far. Took one bob from the mini Moldorm, but unfortunately gets himself into a dead end, so we'll have to save and quit. That is such a useless connector at this point. Also, Relkin's going to show us what the old man back is. Okay, well, there's some of your Dark World exploration for later. And we find the other end of Bumper, so Bumper is now an absolute useless cave for us. I think by the time we actually get ourselves a cape to make it useful as a connector, not going to be able to do much. Although this is a nicer connector to find.
Yeah, never any complaints about finding the Paradox Cave here.
Oh, Relkin has found the other side of Spectacle Rock. I know it's in the village of Outcasts somewhere, but I don't know if it was the left entrance or the right entrance.
I believe that was Sea House specifically there.
Shoutouts to Ike here, who ended up letting us know about that. We find ourselves a Turtle Rock small key. We find ourselves more on stuff we don't really need there. Well, I mean, money's nice, just it doesn't move along the progression chain, and a useless map.
And with this entrance so close to where they were, Megawatt going to take this one-way trip, get spit out at Checkerboard. So we'll see this desert cave as well.
Yeah, you're less worried about needing the mirror when you wind up getting Mire access. You're still gonna want the mirror, but you're not gonna be worried about that one cave. And Relkin's going to go follow suit as we find that's where our Swamp Palace is. At the Fairy Cave just outside Desert. So if you're Megawatt, do you check the upper connector for Paradox, or do you continue to the east? And he's going to continue to the east.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. It's a little bit long of a connector. There are already some weird connectors floating around that you kind of don't want to get baited into chasing too many of those too quickly, so...
Relkin is going to show us what the upper connector is. That's something that we didn't get to see from Megawatt. We do find Thieves Town over at Sahasrah's house. And now we worry less about that orphaned glove spot. Not sure what just happened there to Megawatt, if that was just a stumble. We do find the big key to Hera, so we already have the small and the big to Hera.
Very interesting. So we could go beat that now with just this sword.
Yep, obviously we're still lacking a fire source in order to fully clear it, but just kind of interesting how these items have been laid out so far. A big key to Desert Palace, still another good find. And magic powder, so we can do the magic back the next time we get to the village. And flute under the water. And Agina's cave as well, so That's going to give Relkin incentive to get back to the village now.
Yeah, Megawatt just went ahead and saved and quit out of Swamp. We'll probably be heading back down to South Shore and east from there very soon. But yeah, that access up to the mountain is very spicy.
And so Megawatt has now found a right side of Turtle Rock that's at Eastern. And he's going to go ahead and push a little bit further ahead now. And I think with that one key, he's just going to say, I'll come back later for the key if I need to. I'm just going to go through the door. Mushroom. Obviously, that's sound logic, but something else nice to have.
Yeah, we'll see if Megawatt goes ahead and it's very tempting to just turn that in immediately. So whenever you stumble across the potion shop, you can just get the item right away.
I like the double bomb setup here that Megawatt had done. Obviously, got to wait out the chain chomp still. 20 rupees, not a great reward, but at least those 2 checks are done for Megawatt. So pretty solid run through the first middle section of Turtle Rock.
Relkin, meanwhile, is going to show us one of these connectors walking through.
Okay, we no
Cave.
longer care about that lift rock.
That's all right, though. Activate the flute. Check one more thing off the list.
And Flute 5 is the brewery with just a heart container. Saw a checkerboard over at the light type cave. I think this is where Megawatt's going to be going now. Probably will feel a little about seeing the lamp there. Or not the lamp, the flute there. Because he could have had that when he went out of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, so we'll probably see a quick save and quit to go activate that. As Relkin is going to follow behind Megawatt to these eastern area locations.
But the one thing is, again, that powder. Megawatt's going to be able to check Magic Bag when he comes back to this village. And maybe that's something that will give Megawatt a little bit of an advantage here in this race.
Do we have Vanilla Bat, though? Because we would need Hammer to get there.
No, Magic Bat's at the well.
Oh, at the well. There we go.
We have a bottle at the Lumberjack tree, which is at where the Magic Bat is normally. So we do have to keep an eye on that in case we get no other bottles. As Megawatt will activate the flute. And we're getting the big keys for Relkin. And you can see where Megawatt's setting himself up. Probably save a few frames on the release of the Weather Rain. Hopefully he remembers that the magic powder is something he can check while he is here. And yep, he does remember it, so he's going to go ahead and grab that right now. Given how that's a Spear 1 magic powder, I would be surprised if this magic bat doesn't have progression.
Yeah, it does feel like a big hint that the game's dropping early.
And it is a glove.
That is highly convenient.
which opens up the back 3 of escape. Of course, it lifts all those lift rocks as well.
Yeah, I like this.
Turning in the mushroom now, which is a good idea. And we're going to go ahead and check Flute 8, which, of course, having the glove now means you're not orphaning one of these squares. As long as you don't hug the crabs. Megawott tried for the 50-50, only had that one bomb, so it's going to be unfortunate if he finds the hype cave, but nonetheless, we do get ourselves an ether medallion over here at Waterfall Fairy, or Pyramid Fairy.
And Relkin did show us what the medallion on Turtle Rock was, and I completely missed it.
It's okay, we have chat for that. They tell us it's bombos. And Relkin's going to be floating back to the village, and we'll go ahead and get his gloves as well.
Pretty parallel thinking from both of our runners here. I'm sort of surprised we have not seen the mountain just yet, but Megawatt getting there right now, but a couple of little things to clean up down the mountain first, I suppose.
Oh boy, we have ourselves the Hype Cave with the Cane of Samaria. Relkin's going to show us the back 3 of escape.
The cane can definitely be a messy item early on, because it can just open up some very strange things that you have to do in Turtle Rock, right? Walking from the back to the front, getting that one item in the front part, the compass chest. So, definitely an interesting one.
And the big key to Eastern, we found out thieves and... what was the other one?
Desert, I think it was.
Desert Palace. Those are our 5-6. Oh boy, Spiral Cave. We know where we're going if we don't find anything else up here, but of course you're hoping you find the old man. Because it would stink if he's at Hera. Which we're down to one possible chance left, unless we're down to one possible chance left for this.
Yeah, also annoying to have Spiral right there, because normally you might want to bunny walk to these 2 Dark World entrances you can get to here, but not if you're going to go through Spiral. Oh. So the Fairy Ascension Cave, I believe that Relkin found the other end of this somewhere. Oh yeah, it led out to Dark Village.
Yes, Ashwilla Back was at the brewery. Fairy Ascension was located at the chess game. And the Spectacle Rock was located at the Sea House.
So we are going to see the long walk through Spiral here. Hard to pass up the guaranteed item at the end, so...
Yeah, this is a dead end, so you got to.
But Relkin is still going to show us these two Dark World entrances.
With a heart container we can't pick up.
Okay. And then Megawatt gets let out here as well. That's pretty funny.
Yay! Spiral Cave just did not seem to pay out at all this time around. And we do know, of course, we are going to have Old Man Rescue located at the Tower of Hera. Alright, we're starting to run out of locations on this map.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what our options are. So there were... let's see, are there kind of hanging connectors at this point?
The only thing I can think of at this stage is Zora. 500 rupees gets you the prize, and it's in logic thanks to those gloves.
Yeah, because let's see, we've seen all the exits from... what's its name? Spectacle Rock Cave. I guess there could be some weird bunny walking that we do, like from Village of Outcasts up to North Dark World. And
Chap putting out a good point here. We do have the other two connectors to Desert, and we do have the Desert Big Key.
yeah, that desert I forgot about.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Megawatt does flute to 1, at least to find out what we have inside of Desert. Because it's either this or we're grinding rupees. When we already have Hula Hand.
Which is never a good feeling.
Oh, we do have the Arrow game in Cack Village. That's right, we do have that. So it's not like it's going to be a Crosskeys specialty of... Do you remember where any of your rupees are?
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly one of those junk locations you have to rack your brain for where it was.
And all we get out of Desert is 21 rupees. Blackjack.
So we'll see if these entrances help at all. Something on East Death Mountain or maybe Desert Ledge would be helpful for opening up a few more entrances to check.
Well, Desert Left is going to take us out to, well, the right side of the mountain. So we got another 4 entrances we can check. And Hyrule Castle. And we've seen that small key, right?
We have indeed. So the cell, everything in here is in logic.
Although Relkin has seen the key, Megawatt hasn't. So where was that super small? Oh! Agate Tower. First chest.
That's right. So yeah, won't really slow Megawatt down at all since we have easy access to the back of Escape now with the glove, but...
Right. Although what it's going to do is he'll probably throw up a couple of bells and whistles if there's something here.
Yeah, might slightly confuse Megawatt's picture of the logic.
Boots! We gotta go fast.
Go fast, bonk your head into stuff, find entrances.
Wait. Bonk your head into stuff? That's usually what I do. Okay. So Megawatt's gonna have to... Whoa, that was a bad sword swing right there. That was dangerous. Oh, good patience there by Megawatt, though.
It's a slightly scary, but ultimately successful ball and chain guard fight.
Yeah, considering the fact that he swung that sword to the right and anything could have happened at that point. Megawatt gets through. Probably thinking, oh, those boots are nice, except for they are not in logic right now. Although you don't care when it comes to the boots. You're going to take them and you're going to like it. Also, Relkin, because he has the ether, is going to be able to take care of the Pokey, although the Skulls are going to give him the business over here. Or try to give him the business.
Relkin has already come to this heart piece in Dark Cross from the backside, so nothing exciting here.
Yep, Megawatt's going to be doing a couple of deaths. Don't walk into the heart by accident. There we go.
Alright, so we didn't see any of those other connectors out of Hyrule Castle yet, because obviously we want to check these other entrances while we are up on the mountain.
For certain. I mean, this is in logic. Is that Old Man Rescue?
I think it was. It looked like Megawatt walked up and then sort of stopped bumping up against the ledge there, so...
Although he's not concerned about the old man. Of course, we already know where Old Man is, and it's at the Lumberjack house, so we're going to take these connectors instead.
Yeah, that one item is all we would get out of that, so that's a little bit less appealing right now. There's a connector to the Dark World yet again.
So far, no connectors to the east side of the Dark World. That's one of the things I usually get concerned about in an early stage of a seed when you don't have the hammer and such. We do find ourselves one of our force connectors right there with the Hyrule Castle right over at the desert right.
And a very mysterious small key hanging out on the ledge.
And Megawatt's going to find that this is the other side of Bumper. Or not Bumper, Hookshot Cave. And is going to go ahead and find out what we have. At least in the Bonkable chest, if not more. By the way, where did Relkin just come out? It's the Dark World where that came out, but I did not see where Relkin came out.
Oh, at Desert Main? I didn't see that either.
Oh, Swamp Palace, thank you. So that's another of the Western world, but at least that gives you more ideas of what you can do once you get the Moon Pearl.
Megawatt rewarded with a 300 out of that bonkable chest, by the way, so if Zora does come into the picture suddenly... Ooh, House of Darkness. Right behind Link's house.
You're not going to complain about that. And the hook shot!
That'll be 2 quick trips to Hookshot Cave in rapid succession.
Of course, Megawatt's going to show us what's at Bonk Rocks first. Library with just bombs in it. And remember when Megawatt didn't check to see what the other side of Paradox Cave, Paradox Cave was? Well, he's going to get that answer right now.
And meanwhile, Relkin making the opposite choice, going ahead and rescuing the old man rather than chasing those connectors.
All right, so Megawatt's going to go ahead and almost talk to the kid. I thought he got a little close there. Get ourselves 20 rupees, an ice rod that we might need later, and there's our moon pearl.
There we go.
So Megawatt's going to piece together this logic. The boots that he got that led to the hook shot is out of logic. But the answer to this puzzle is that first chest he has access to in Hyrule Castle. Or not Hyrule Castle, in Castle Tower. But he doesn't know this at this point.
Yeah, so I think he is probably going to figure that, you know, it's going to just be time to use this Moon Pearl, skip over whatever you skipped over, and figure it out later. But that will definitely be weighing on the back of his mind of where he was supposed to go to get access to this Moon Pearl. So,
but he knows that Hyrule Castle is probably somewhere that he has access to, but he also knows that it's probably lumped together with something else. For instance, hi there, Castle Tower. I mean, if you get the Castle Tower second key, then you can repair that logic and get the other check. And the only reason why I bring up this logic is because good runners like these two, they do a lot to remind themselves of what is in logic and what's not in logic. So they repair their logic a lot better than you see other runners do. Ganon's Tower, hello. As of now, 4 checks in here.
yeah, not a whole lot to be done without fire source for the right side, preferably fire rod for the logical purposes, or hammer to get us through the left.
As we find Ganon's Tower key number 1. Relkin with his boots now will go ahead and start dashing his way through the rest of this Death Mountain. And gets a free lift back to the start of this dungeon where you can check the bonk, the torch, see if that is valued at anything.
I'd say that's pretty good.
I don't know, I'm not convinced. What that will do is give Megawatt options on the right side of this Dark World now.
Yeah, fairly standard will be swim down to the entrances in the left, use the whirlpool to go up to Catfish area, and then you can wind up down at the pyramid over into the pod area.
And here goes Relkin into pod as well, about to get that hook shot. And that is a save and quit for Relkin. Probably will go right back to Hookshot Cave. As we see what's at Dark Shopping Mall, Ice Palace, which we cannot do anything about until we have a fire source, Bombos, or the fire rod. Sea House. And, oh yeah, this one's a good one. Laser Bridge. These checks are not in logic at this point. Because an entrance shuffle, you need to have a protection, either be the Mirror Shield or the Cane of Burna or the Magic Cape. I did not speak that into existence. I did not speak that into existence.
Didn't you, though?
I did not.
Got
All
ourselves
right,
a
so it's either the
spell.
Cane of Burna or the Mirror Shield that gets us access to that. And if anyone wants to know how to survive this area, well, you're going to take some hits, but just press up. That's all you need to do in that dark room. Press up. Yes, we get one of our smalls to Skull Woods.
And now we're finally getting, I think, some significant divergence from our runners here. Relkin knew about the back of Old Man Cave letting out here in the Dark World, and so he's going to start off over in the west part of the world.
Yeah, one of our dark caves here, and this has got to be Death Mountain Descension there. Looked like Megawott was setting up fake flippers until he remembered, oh right, I do have flippers. Dark Potion, just a fortune teller.
And just a boomerang on the bumper ledge there, but we find Eastern Palace over on Relkin's side.
And Relkin is going to say no to this stage.
Yeah, it's one of those things, has the big key but no bow, and it's weird, right? If I have nothing, I'm likely to go in. If I've got one of the pieces for Eastern, I might be more likely to leave it behind. But
Oh, he's going back in.
Yep, that's definitely a reasonable play. You might not even have to come back later to finish it if it's a pendant, of course.
Yeah, I think he wanted to complete the route. So this way he can make this his save and quit. He hasn't touched Skull Woods, but GT Big Key. Only 20 rupees on the Pyramid Ledge. Palace of Darkness Big Key as well. Eastern stacked.
Yeah, going back in, definitely paying off.
Somebody wants the TLDR in the first 44 minutes of this race. Let's see. How do we give you a TLDR? Boots and Boomerang chest. Hookshot in the first chest of pod at the Bonk Rocks in the Light World. Sword upgrade in the Compass chest, or is that the Compass chest? Yeah, that's the Compass chest of Eastern. And Moon Pearl was in the Hookshot Cave. And there's a Palace of Darkness small key. And who got the boots first? The one on your right, who's now inside a 5-item cave.
Yeah, Megawott definitely had a few minutes advantage with the boots, which led into a few minutes advantage with the Dark World access, but with them splitting up in Dark World, it's sort of anybody's guess how that's going to shake out.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Who gets the pieces so they can route this more efficiently? And so far, it seems like Megawatt did get a couple of good pieces here. He just got the fire rod out of Blind's hut here.
Yeah, that fire rod, definitely a good find.
And Relkin is back inside the Palace of Darkness.
Because we do now have between our runners Cane Fire Rod and GT Big Key. Ooh, hover coming out from Relkin.
He's trying it. He's trying it. Now he's going to try to cut over here to the south. Almost had it. And you spent 110 rupees for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, Relkin's just taking one shot at that hover to the right side. But yeah, you can get all the way to Ice Armos in GT by way of the right side. So that, I don't know, not very appealing yet, but something to think about.
Megawatt beelining it back towards the Hyrule Castle. This is his connector to the Dark World. Because he has not saved the old man yet. And nor has he gone through Old Man's cave to know. Actually, yeah, I think he has not checked that yet.
Yeah, they sort of chose different connectors to chase at the very beginning, but this does feel pretty good for Megawatt because you sort of start at the far end of West Dark World and can sort of just cover everything in one big loop here.
We'll see if he chooses to dive Eastern Palace as well. Cane of Burna. That is probably how we're supposed to get that cape. I would say that's exactly how you're supposed to get that cape. And Quake. Compass being given to us by Stumpy. And Megawatt's going right into Eastern. So Relkin's about to find Eastern Palace, or not Eastern Palace, Ganon's Tower in just a moment. And this will at least allow him to get those flippers. Or Relkin is just wanting to continue on with what he's got over here first.
Yeah, because in Relkin's mind, he's got two more entrances to check, right? He's got here and the shop by the lake, and then he's going to come back. So,
Yep.
Just unlucky that flippers are right there.
And I get this. If the hammer shows up in one of these two locations he's about to check, this gives him many more things he can do in GT. There's the sword upgrade for Megawatt. Now Relkin will go ahead and reverse course, go back into Ganon's Tower. Megawatt did not open up the Eastern Big.
We'll see if he remembers he's got that big key.
That's a possibility. That was one of our Palace of Darkness small keys, so it's not a crippling situation for him not to grab that, but it's more of a convenience thing at this stage. And, yep, he's seeing the death. He is not grabbing the Eastern Big. Oh, he may have just remembered. He just remembered. This has got to be a moment where you set yourself up and see, oh, right, I have this. All right, yes, it does look like Megawott is setting up for a check into Skull Woods, which is something that we did not see from Relkin.
Yeah, like you said, he took that Eastern save and quit, so... But Megawatt already having that fire rod can also pick up this very annoying entrance at the back as well.
Yep, you just hope at this stage that this is not a softlock woods. And Relkin is going to go and do the eastern side of the world first before he checks the dark shopping mall. And guess what? Happy softlock woods.
Yay!
Happy softlock woods. That's confirmation right there.
Also, I swear, every time the two linked entrances are at the front, the first drop down I pick always takes me right back into them.
Confirmation bias that is almost 99.9% true.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you drop into this one. But at least we had 2 keys for this. But still annoying that you drop into this one first, which makes you have to swallow up that key. We do not have the big key to Skull Woods yet.
So one thing that this Pathian will do, as Relkin just picked up his fire rod over there, if he puts the Dark Shopping Mall last, he could hop into Ice Palace for maybe just that first chest, or maybe even the Icebreaker chest as well, and maybe spike something in there.
Would be nice if we can get a nice Palace small key to give you more options, but we'll see what Relkin chooses to do. This is an item behind the Skullwood's back. Money, 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 money. Not all that exciting, but we still have not purchased Zora yet. Could that be next on Megawatt's mind? It is.
Yeah, you got your guaranteed item at the Hobo as well. A couple entrances along the way.
And our first entrance is... got ourselves a book and a piece of heart over here at the Waterfall Ferry.
So I believe we have been spit out at the desert front. I think actually Relkin's going to do that right now. So, yep, that's one thing the book would normally get us.
Seemed to be nothing over here at the waterfall itself. Now the question is, what do we have here on the ledge? Oh,
Ooh.
That's a lamp. And what does Zora have? 500 rupees buys you a life's lesson.
I was really hoping for the second Agate Tower key right there. That would have been pretty tremendous, along with the lamp.
Have we seen the first Agate key?
Oh, you're right. We haven't. We got the sewer key, but not an agate key yet.
Relkin going back into GT. This makes a lot of sense. We do have that right side open to us.
Yeah, picked up that fire rod and a GT key out of the bottom of Blind's hut, so...
By the way, I'm just thinking about it. We have access to another check now. There's one of our pod keys. There's one of our castle tower keys. So we have access to another check thanks to those flippers. The very first check inside Swamp Palace.
Ah, that's very true. Which we did find that dam extremely early in this run.
I don't expect these runners to go check for it just yet, but it's something that might want to be in the back of these runners' minds at some stage.
Also, while we're talking awful one-off checks, I believe we now have a logical way to get to the Ether Tablet, since we could go back through the old man cave, which led out at Tower of Hera, but that's extremely unappealing right now.
Okay, that's gonna have hammer, isn't it?
Always seems that way. As Relkin breaking out the sword beams for the Ice Armos fight.
Our chat is yelling at the wrong person. As Relkin is just going sword beams up on these Armos. There's the can of burner for Megawatt. And just a whole bunch of money.
I guess it does make sense that Relkin skipped that on the way in, since he knew he was going to be walking back out of GT anyway.
And now Megawatt's going to be following him into GT. Relkin's going to be heading over to Dark Shopping Mall.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge payout for Relkin, but I like the way it routed in with coming back to check out Dark Shopping Mall anyway, so...
There is Ice Palace. We'll get to see if Relkin chooses to do that coming up here in just a moment. He's got 6 items that he's going to be grabbing first before he does it, though. All right. Relkin's laser skips. So far, so good. Pretty solid.
I don't know about you. The worst part of my laser skips are not bonking at the end.
Yeah. Get yourself into dire danger there with the lasers when you finally come to. I wouldn't be surprised if Relkin dives ice at least in a normal format. It's still a hard play to go do Icebreaker because you're gonna lock yourself out at the spike chest.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if your plan is to just do the first chest and leave, you might as well do the first icebreaker chest as well. But
yeah, but the problem is that we have 3 more chests in addition to that's in logic with our current equipment.
yeah,
And Hammer could very well be in one of those checks.
no, Hammer's never been in Ice Tea Room before. Not once.
No, never. Especially not against me and Pika Pals. Totally not. Stupid Hammer. Oh, he is going to do the icebreaker, though.
Yeah, if you want to go deeper, you can always just grab this one and then push the blocks and walk right back out, so...
Hammer!
What?
Oh my!
What is this video game?
Alright, well, I guess, I don't know anything I'm talking about.
That is absolutely incredible from Relkin there.
So
that... I mean, that's definitely in logic, right? Because you can just hookshot your way around to there.
Yep. And that's the other thing, is that very well was easy to get through. Nice clip right there. And the bow as well!
Wow, Ice Palace just has all the goods today. And this now becomes a big question mark for when Megawatt gets back here, since this is such an out-of-the-way location for a dungeon that you don't think you're going to be able to beat when you get there.
Yep. Let's see where Megawatt is going, although he could be heading right in that direction right now. We're kind of forced into this direction anyway.
Yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot left that we can do. There's some one-off stuff like the rock you could lift on Dark Death Mountain, but, you know, this might be the most appealing thing Megawatt has right now, and it's definitely going to pay off. Oh, okay, and so, oh, there we go. There is a full magic drop for Relkin.
That's good that Relkin knows his prize packs.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like he's preserving health to do the sword beam fire rod duplication trick, but was just farming for that full magic.
All right. Now the big question. Is this a pendant or crystal? Get a P in chat if you think this is a pendant. Get a C in chat if you think this is a crystal.
Does still do the fire rod duping, though, to save some magic for the last phase, and gets through that very quickly. Nicely done.
And we get magic on Cold Stare. It's a pendant! The P's rejoice.
I think the dungeon can be forgiven for only being a pendant after everything else it gave us, so...
And we already know that Skull Woods is our green pennant. There's confirmation of that. Pod, Crystal, Turtle Rock a crystal, Swamp Palace is a crystal. I think there was a Thieves Town crystal, which we already knew was one of our 5 and 6 as well.
This is going to be extremely painful for Megawatt. Got down the stairs and then thought, no, I'm just going to go through the rest of this dungeon the normal way. It's going to be very annoyed to find that hammer.
Little he know that the treasures that are inside. You just got the hammer, though. Where do you go next? Do you go to Pod? I mean, we cannot beat Pod with our current setup here. Well, we can, but it's not necessarily a free setup at this stage. And Megawatt's going to do the Ice Palace Bomb jump.
Yeah, we've got the hammer. I mean, GT is awfully tempting.
It is.
You also might think about just going back to finish Eastern, although I'd feel better about that if I were sure it was a crystal.
Well, we found out that Hera is a crystal. We know nothing about Eastern. It's either Eastern or Meyer is our other pendant.
Yep, and this looks like GT out of Relkin with our traditional Dark World access here, letting us out right in front of it.
There's the bow from Megawatt. And this is going to be unfortunate for Megawatt when he finds out what is in that spiked chest. Relkin going over here. Inside Ganon's tower. And this is... How many items is this? This is a lot of items. All things added up.
I believe 10. Maybe the one in the map room is out of logic, but
you've got 12. You've got 10 items here alone, plus the climb for 4. Completing Aga 2 is 2 items. So essentially, this is a 16-item trip. And Megawatt is left. Megawatt has left Ice Palace.
Oh, he's going to take that bow and go back to Pod and Eastern. That is rough.
Megawatt has left after getting iced tea. And here he goes through the desert connector. That's a tough one right there, and I don't know if Megawatt's going to be able to overcome this. I mean, I'm not going to declare the race done and over with at this stage, but... that is a really bad, unfortunate ending there for Megawatt. He's going to climb.
Yeah, and just so many of the things he can do with bow, he's going to have to then go back to later when he eventually gets the hammer. Oh, this is just going to be a compounding thing for him.
So far, we have not... Oh, mitts! Okay, so there is something on the on this trip. So we do get one reward here from the left side of GT. Those mitts now open up the mire area. That is 3 to 4 entrances, depending on the medallion requirements for the mire.
Yeah, that also gives us the King's Tomb entrance, gives us Smith Chain.
Megawatt using the reload room here. And you have to this stage. You're down to 2 hearts. As Relkin climbs the tower, so does Megawatt. I think we can use this time while they're climbing the stairs or climbing the floors, dealing with some of these heavy combat rooms. Be sure to give these two runners a follow, Relkin and Megawatt. I don't know what else I can say about these two in the community, except for they're wonderful and they play pretty well. While you're also being sure to follow those two, also be sure to give our crew here that has been working behind the scenes, making sure that everything appears on here, our great trackers on this broadcast, as well as the great cool pop-up bell. It's been wonderful so far.
Of course, always a pleasure to do a race with you, Rick. We see even more of this compounding, unfortunately, for Megawatt. Relkin's got half magic that dropped off of Cold Stare to help out with this tower climb also.
And his fourth floor shows how much he was able to pick up speed. Because now they're going to be room for room here in the fifth floor. Megawatt, the first one here to the first series of torches. Preserving his magic, which is going to allow Relkin to just run right by him. Oh, Megawatt didn't get through the door fast enough!
Oh, and now has to wait for everything to reset. Oof.
There we go. All right, sixth floor. Is there anything up here? And honestly, for Megawatt's sake, you hope that there's nothing that pushes him further away from Ice Palace. If there's anything in here, you hope it's a small key to Ice Palace to maybe get him think about that spike chest. So far, nothing.
Because the upside is, when he gets let out on the pyramid, he would be back in pretty close running distance, just go straight back into ice if he wants to. And, you know, by leaving the icebreaker chest, he can get back to that one chest pretty fast.
And just as a reminder, big key to Turtle Rock. Oh, you can finish Trinex now.
Yeah, we've got the laser bridge entrance. We have the big chest entrance itself as well, so that might be one of those things to distract Megawatt away.
Well, here's the thing. Laser bridge is right next to Ice Palace. Maybe he'll think about it.
But the problem is, do you do that before ice? Because if you go in and beat Trinex, then it spits you out at the front door, right? So
yep. So he would have to do that one check, and you'd have to remember that he has access to that check. That's why you're hoping to see an Ice Palace small key to help him out here. And this is going to be the secret passageway, so it's 2 items. Falcon's going to check the ledge first before he drops on down. We already saw Megawatt check that.
This would be a great time to find a mirror for these runners.
It would, but that would steer Megawatt away. We got ourselves a small key to Misery Mire, a dungeon we have not seen yet. Alright, so if I'm Relkin, I swim back and I finish off Turtle Rock at this position because you've got everything you need to beat it. And have we seen Turtle Rock front?
No,
we haven't.
We have not. So yeah, that definitely routes very nicely because then that'll be 3 more items after beating Trinex that Relkin can pick up right away.
Okay, so Megawatt's going to go back into the Palace of Darkness here with his second key. He's going to be able to check the Mimic side as well. As Relkin goes and finishes off with Turtle Rock.
So the saving grace for Megawatt is that this GT and pod dip that he's doing without hammer, these are easy places to get back to. So it's not like he's wasting a lot of time walking there, but it is still eating up some time for sure.
Alrighty, here we go. Trinex pretty solid hammer fights here for Relkin. Up close and personal. Nothing here on the Mimic side of Pod. It looks like Megawatt is going to be heading here deeper inside this pod. It's going to go ahead and spend the key, so he will need another key to beat this dungeon later on as we get the Crystal off Trinex for Relkin.
Yeah, very clean Trinex overall. Hammer phase 3 went very nicely.
There's another small key to the mire, and Relkin comes out, and it was at the Ice Palace entrance where Turtle Rock Front was. Did we find Turtle Rock right, by the way? I know we had. We did.
Yeah, let's see. Turtle Rock Right is at the Eastern Palace entrance.
Okay, right. A big key to Thieves Town.
And more distractions for Megawatt.
And Relkin gets another small key over here at the front section. Megawatt is done with Pod. Thieves Town was located at Sahasrahla. Let's see where Megawatt chooses to go. Is not fluting away, so this is going to be Thieves Town. No, it's not. Oh yeah, we're going to be checking the man underneath the bridge. Since have we done that at all?
I believe we have not. I think Megawatt just went straight to Zora before.
Also, Bombos again to Meyer, and that was in Pod.
Yeah, and I believe behind all 6 pod small keys, right? So
Yes, it was.
unlikely to be much behind that entrance, I think.
Meyer is a Crystal Eastern's a pendant.
Just more bad news for Megawatt if he goes ahead to finish off stuff he can do with the bow.
Meanwhile, Megawatt is inside of this Swamp Palace. Gets a small key to GT. And here's the flute to 5. This is going to be Thieves Town now. And by the way, Relkin found silvers in Spike Cave.
Yeah, and given that we can see where a tempered sword is, that makes us think we should get a pretty easy Ganon fight eventually.
All right, so we check our TR big chest. Turns out just to be 20 rupees. Bombos was located in the Dark Maze. So it is totally locked behind all 6 of the keys. And now you really hope for Megawatt's sake that there's nothing in the big chest here. We don't have that Thieves' Small yet, but you hope for Megawatt's sake that there's nothing in that big chest. Of course, all of this is not in logic until we get 6 pod keys total.
Yeah, and given that Megawatt is at 2, like, I think he knows that he's, gone past where he's supposed to be at this point, and it's just kind of finishing off the dungeon while trying to figure out what to go back to.
He's been off the logic chain since he got the boots.
That's true. He still doesn't have that sewer key,
which was in the first chest of Agate Tower. And he's been waiting for a second Agate Tower or a first Agate Tower key to get him in there. We know where one of them is. It's over in GT. It's just, when is he going to get one?
I think he does have that one out of GT because it was the right side.
That's true, yes. For some reason, I thought it was left side for a moment. I know nothing about routing. That's why I'm 3 and 4. These two, there are reasons why they're 5 and 1. I guess not odd thing. That's what I was about to say. But the funny thing, I guess I should say, one of these two will be playing an elimination match next week.
Yeah, the Swiss is absolutely brutal because there are going to be a lot of excellent runners at 6 and 2 who are just not going to make it quite into the final brackets. But
this is a tough tournament.
Absolutely.
Allison is 100% correct when he says this is a tough tournament. All right, Megawatt's going to be going back into Turtle Rock here. And this is probably where we start to consider, or we're just going to go to the left side. Yeah, we're just going to go to the left side. Let ourselves go up to the mountain. Because we do have this one entrance that we haven't seen yet, which is Sick Kid. But we don't have a bottle. But by the way, we do know where a bottle exists.
And cruelly for Megawatt, it's behind the hammer.
Yes. Which is something that Relkin can pick up when he wants to. Which makes me think that Sick Kid is going to have something on this chain. So the unfortunate thing also for Megawott is that because he doesn't have the hammer, he doesn't have the bits which are locked behind the hammer. Anytime he wants to get back to the Dark World, he's got to go through these means. And now we rescue the old man. And Relkin, he went back to the mire entrance, right?
Yes. So just $20 here.
Now, while Megawott is up here, he could check to see what's over here at the bomb or the ether medallion, the ether tablet, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing. With all the bright flashes and the small key to the Palace of Darkness. So that's another of the pod keys that are in logic right now. And Relkin picks up the small key to Desert.
It's a solid find. We'll see if we go check that out pretty quickly. Got another hammer check to clear up here.
And I like how Relkin is checking some of these. Hey, I just got the hammer recently. Let me go see what it is. See if there's progression behind this. But now Megawatt is going to be heading through the Hyrule Castle connector once again. But the thing for Megawatt is the checks that he has are drying up. Thankfully, Thieves Town had nothing in it that's pushing him in another direction. There's another pod key locked behind the Desert Small. So that's now 4. And Megawatt's going to go into Eastern.
Yeah, I think this is the last thing he can do with this bow, which was really the reason why he left Ice, I think, right? Like, find the bow, that opens up quite a bit of stuff, but...
Yep, unfortunately, those checks are starting to dry up now. And now here comes the flipper checks for Relkin. And I'm taking a look at things here. It's crazy how much of this world we still have locked up. We haven't found Desert Palace back. We haven't found the Tower of Hera. We haven't found Skullwood's back. And we haven't found Mire. 3 of those 4 we need to still do.
And it's that mirror that's in the way of all of this, right? Like, looking at my tracker, all the places we have to go that are still interesting are mirror locked. Like, mirroring from TR Ledge, top of Hyrule Castle.
We have access to, I believe it looks like 4 entrances right now. Actually 5. 6. So because Relkin has the hammer, he does have access to the right side of the mountain. So there's the 3 entrances there, plus the Turtle Rock entrance. He also has access to that hammer shop in Village of Outcasts and Peg Cave. There's got to be something at one of those 6 entrances right now.
Yeah, and that, like we were talking about earlier, the way to get up to Tower of Hera is some really annoying connectors, which is how Relkin would have to get over to East Death Mountain, but that might be what we're getting close to here.
Yeah, now that he's got that lamp, maybe he's thinking about it. We'll see. Here comes Megawatt to repair about 75 minutes worth of logic. I think Relkin's coming to the resolution that he needs to get over here to the right side of the mountain.
Yeah, with the mitts can pick up this one entrance without dropping down. Oh, the small key to thieves.
Hey, there's Hera.
So full clearable Hera for Relkin.
And at this state, there's our mirror. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
So everything here is locked behind the hammer. The hammer that is in Spike K or the Spike Chest of Ice Palace. And Megawott chose to say nope out of Ice Palace. And this is now becoming a very unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, because that also locked the mitts on the left side of GT, which was another way that Megawatt could get up here. But yeah, that hammer just has been the story of this entire race.
And he just noped out of the Dark World once again. And we know what this is. Anyone who plays this game knows exactly what is going on right now on Megawatt's screen. This is the what did I miss moment.
Yeah, and in Crosskeys, the possibilities for that are just all over the place, right? Is it a connector? Is it a dumb way to walk through Turtle Rock and get to a different entrance? Yeah, just racking your brain trying to figure out what the options are.
As Relkin picks up the map to Thieves Town, not that he needed it. Here's more analytical moments here for Megawatt. And this kind of moment happens to any runner. It doesn't matter if you are currently sitting in this tournament with 6 wins heading into week 7 or 0 wins. This happens to everyone.
And it never feels any better. Like, it's
No.
just always a big ol' feels bad man.
Absolutely. So it looks like what Megawatt's going to be doing is at least going through Turtle Rock. Because this... No, he's not going the way I thought he was going to go. Oh, he's going to...
Yeah,
No,
gonna walk out the front.
He doesn't have enough key... Or... Okay, he
has
did not kill the
killed the
Pokey,
Pokey?
so he
Yeah.
does have enough keys. Okay, so he's going to be doing Trinex.
Yeah. Grab the key, use that to get to Trinex. That'll spit him out the front, and then he can check things from there.
We gotta hope he gets into Ice Palace, though. But at this stage, this is kind of Relkin building up enough of a lead here that it feels like this is a case here where it's Relkin's race to lose.
Yeah, because all of the stuff that Relkin has been doing is stuff that Megawatt's going to have to get back to when he finds the hammer. So just so much of a head start for Relkin on all of this late game stuff.
And Relkin now has access to the other side of the mountain here with the mirror. And is going through Super Bunny. Gonna get to see what's up here on the ledge, which we didn't get a chance to. for Megawatt's sake, if you're cheering on Megawatt, this is where he needs to get into Ice Palace. He needs to get into Ice Palace and get this hammer.
Yeah, and he might know that Turtle Rock is not actually the answer here based on key logic, because we...
But he's going through to try an X.
Yep.
You can tell Megawatt is flustered at this point, just based on how this room's going.
That anti-fairy was not cooperating, to be fair.
Right. Nothing was cooperating, but the way that everything was going on, you can tell he was getting flustered. And you feel for this. TR entrance is nothing.
And no half magic for Megawatt. He's going to have to really bear down in the second part of this fight, but it's so hard with all of that ice.
And no map. He got it. And no bottle either.
So yeah, very, very clutch Trinex fight there.
And this is what makes runners like Megawatt and relkin superior when it comes to when it comes to how they execute. It's just the ability to. Oops, I don't think relkin wanted that. The ability to. Oh, maybe he did want that. At least to get away from the Lionels. But it's just the way that they just move around and play around with a little more confidence in the way that they do things in swing the swords and whatnot.
Yeah, and especially under pressure like this, right? Where it's just like, this is what I have to do right now to get this done. Yeah, just executing.
All right, so we found one of our Ice Palace keys at Graveyard Ledge, which was located at the Paradox exit. Paradox top. All right, so Relkin's going to head to the village. He's going to check the last two entrances over here. This will also allow him to check the two north sides and probably over towards Hyrule Castle as well.
Yeah, Relkin is mostly looking for exits at this point, has a couple keys left to find, but finding Misery Mire would be great since that's a crystal with a lot of items in it, relatively speaking, compared to everything else we have left to check, at least.
And Megawatt is chasing the key that he just picked up to the Palace of Darkness back in. Chess game with a skull small. Yay.
Well, Moth's in logic now when we find him.
If we find him. Game gives us no guarantees that we ever will find Mathula's back area. It's a long walk, but Relkin's going to get the tempered sword while he's doing all this.
Not exactly the traditional way to get the tempered sword while you have the smith, but we'll take it.
Yeah, but Search the... Oh, there's our last of our 5-item caves. Search the Breadsmith right for being all the way over there at the lake area. Mire Big, we needed that. Key-wise, all we need is a Swamp Small. And Megawott goes back to the title screen.
Yeah, I believe that was a hard reset to save those pod keys, but yeah, back to trying to figure out where things have gone wrong in this seed.
Oh yeah, Bombo's tablet. And another bottle. So those who are keeping track of the entrances, we haven't seen a way to get ourselves to the TR bridge. But in addition to that, we have not seen Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb, the top of Hyrule Castle, or the two on top of the Desert Ledge. And you gotta remember, there's an ominous key over there on that Desert Ledge, too.
I think we actually have gotten those entrances. I think Relkin did those with Mirror earlier, so.
Alright, maybe he has. Anyways, Relkin's gonna get the Tempered Sword now.
And yeah, Megawatt is deep in thought here.
Yeah, and this is a painful feeling. You feel broken. Like, you really feel broken.
That's oddly appropriate for the blacksmiths to make us some armor there.
So they're now tailors.
I guess I don't feel like a big hammer is the best tailoring tool, but you know, if they can make it work, more power to them.
The hammer's just a big ironing board. Ironing. Or iron. Whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had this entrance too. Light bumper. And I think we've had ourselves a forfeit. Yep. Yeah, Megawatt has thrown in the towel in regarding to this seed. So as long as Relkin is able to finish things up, he will be guaranteed at least a spot in the play-in race. But let's give some love and some hype to Megawatt. Anyone who plays this mode can sympathize with what was going on through Megawatt's mind at that point.
Yeah, and we've definitely all been there. As Relkin finds Skull Woods there at Graveyard Ledge. And short of just kind of starting the whole seed over, there's not a whole lot to be done once the thing that you're missing is gone. It's gone. So
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, for Megawatt, the hammer turned out to be in a really nasty spot that he just never got back to. For those of you who did not get to see this entire race, the hammer is located in the spike chest in Ice Palace. Megawatt checked everything else. All right, so nothing that we've seen so far coming out of the Skullwoods back. The main question now is what's on that green pendant?
yeah, I'm trying to think what else we've got left to do in dungeons. Not a whole lot in the dungeons that we can actually get to. I guess Relkin's got some pod cleanup to do, but we've seen that that's junk.
The other thing is that Relkin has not checked Thieves' Town yet. He's probably still holding out for that small key, which we know is in that second chest of Castle Tower.
And looks like we're going to get the top of Hyrule Castle. That is likely to be one of our useful entrances.
Yep, we still have to find the desert back, and we still have to find Misery Mire. And we're really running low on entrances here. There's Mire. And we're still Swamp Small away from go mode.
So the Key Sanity standard route here out of Relkin just kind of makes you go to the left side first.
And this is in logic. We have found all three smalls. By the way, just taking a look at my map, we haven't seen the potion shop, have we?
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah. So that's another item cave, technically, that we are still on the lookout for. My main question still exists is how are we supposed to get to the TR bridge? Butter Sword.
Yeah, I think we've still... Yes, Mikanakopi in chat is ahead of me here with the...
Yeah, the Elder.
The Elder Hut is still out there as a potential connector up to that TR ledge.
And that's got to take you to the bridge at this point. Because we've seen all the other force outs. Halfway done with this Mire. Still nothing to be found. Those that just are tuning in, Megawatt left one chest behind an ice palace, and it turned out to have the hammer. Never picked it up, got totally lost, and has forfeited this race. Castle Tower 2. And dare I remind you what's behind AGA 1?
Yep. 5 items is awfully tempting. Actually, 6 for Relkin, since he hasn't been back for the second chest in the tower yet.
Which that second item is the turtle, or not the turtle rock, the Thieves' Town small key, which I feel is what he's been waiting for in order to do Thieves' Town. He's been waiting for that small key. Third attempt at spooky. Can't get it this time. Trying a fourth time. And fourth time's the bonk, and now we're just going to do it the traditional way. Yeah, we've got ourselves some silvers for Vitreous. Mire was a dungeon we needed to do, but had nothing inside. Although, that all depends on what's behind the castle tower, really.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got a pretty full inventory other than that Swamp Small Key, so that's really the only thing left we care about.
And there's our desert back, which of course we can do, so here we go.
The good old Crosskeys boss rush normally doesn't involve finding all the dungeons at the same time, but here we are.
Maybe Lambo will have our swamp small. No, it's just a single rupee. But that's crystal number 6 for Relkin. Or crystal number 5 for Relkin. I can count. There's our elder.
So all 3 entrances on top of the mountain, or on top of the castle rather, being very interesting for us.
And of course that is our TR bridge, and that's not our potion shop. There's our potion shop with a heart container.
Relkin deciding the best way to get to Thieves' Town, I think. Or no, gonna check out Pod first.
None but money. Alright, final check inside of this Palace of Darkness. We already saw this from Megawott. So... where do you think this key is?
I mean, it's hard to get away from the well at this point, I think, but I would guess Relkin's probably going to go to Thieves Town first.
No, he's fluting to 3. Here's Agate Tower. No, not Agate Tower. We're going to check that green pendant.
Certainly doesn't hurt to stop off here real quick.
And now... we don't head there. Have we checked Purple Chest yet?
Ooh, I don't think we have. Oh, you know what else? Relkin hasn't been in the front of Skull Woods at all.
Right. Oh, here we go, Agate Tower. And by the way, again, another shout out here at the hour 58-minute mark to Pi and Ikir. They've been helping us out here, not only by clicking the buttons, but reminding us of everything that we have seen so far by way of chat. We really do appreciate you all. All right, looks like Relkin's going to be doing this the entire way through, so now is the time where you can get your numbers in chat between 0 and 15. What do you think we are going to get for the Agate Tower blue ball counter? And I just want to make sure that you all know that I'm taking the names of anyone who picks anything that requires more than a 3-cycle Aga 1. So bear that in mind when you pick your number, Cool Papa Bell.
There's a special list for people who say 15. There's definitely a special list for people who say 16.
Yeah, I know. I mean, big shout outs also to Tom Otak, who's doing the restream for us here. Even though you are wishing upon evil here, that keeps us around here for a little bit longer. I love how somebody's trying to outdo the 16 with a 17. Even our trackers are getting into this.
If our trackers start trolling us, we're in big trouble, you understand.
Yes, I know. Also, it's not going to be 15. I hope. Relkin, I've been praising you throughout this entire broadcast. If you make this 15, you owe me money at SGL. Alright, that was what, 2? That was 2, wasn't it?
I thought just 1.
Just 1, okay. Alright. Where do we go to next? We go to the Lumberjack. through the expressway. Settles to the man's new home. Is this the Swamp Small? Cut and print. There it is. 2 hours, 1 minute, 25 seconds. Relkin is in get this seed over with mode.
Didn't really leave a lot of room for suspense there.
And so, therefore, you had to go to Misery Mire first on top of the castle to get that second castle tower key. And chat reminding of our restreamer here that the climb for GT was needed at least to get to the Moldorm 2 chest.
Yeah, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of climb required seeds, a whole lot of vanilla Ganons floating around my last few weeks.
It's because the game knows what pain is.
Absolutely. This if the randomizer ever becomes sentient, we're in deep trouble.
I think we're in deep trouble even as it is. So just a couple of dungeons to clean up here for Relkin, then we can go ahead and head over to Ganon. I'd say, all things considering, probably 208, 209 coming up here for Relkin.
Yeah, which all told is not bad for this seed, considering all of the nonsense we had to do to get to that Moon Pearl, the completely absurd dip into ice for Hammer.
Oh, Zero Cycle, love it!
Oh, baby. That was a beautiful fight there from Relkin.
Yeah. He destroyed that right there. And because Relkin ended up getting that Thieves Town small, when he goes into Thieves Town coming up here, he will be able to just go straight to that bottom door, won't even need to go and worry about grabbing that key.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about Go Mode Thieves Town, but he gets to Go Mode Thieves Town and save 3 seconds there.
Yeah, I mean, it's as close as you can get to a great Thieves Town in Go mode. There he goes, right into the door. Nice key dash.
Yeah, just got a tiny little nudge off the framing around the door, so that lined him up for that key dash.
Can't even get the God Pixel, though, because that one was right in the way. Oh, nice timing.
Can clearly see the NMG practice here out of Relkin for all of this execution here through Thieves Town.
Oh, yeah. You can tell Relkin has done this just a few times. And after this, all he'll have to do is flute to 2 and defeat Ganon. In a seed where you climbed GT, a seed that you had to climb Castle Tower, and did 2 of your 3 pendants. I think a 210 is saying a lot.
Gotta have that mirror shield ready for the Ganon fight.
Yeah. If only they deflected the bats. So, one last pomp and circumstance coming up here. As Relkin drops into the Ganon fight. We have ourselves Butter Sword, we have Silvers. This will be a very stressful fight. Don't you think?
I mean, it's probably pretty stressful for Ganon.
I mean, it's the epic music from the Super Mario Galaxy that makes this epic. And puts people on edge. Nice spin to make sure he gets the first frame attack. Fortunately, Ganon's not going to play nice for those cycles. Here we go, stage number 4. Gets the very first hit there. 2 hits on Ganon. Can't get him there, but gets him down here. 2 more hits. Relkin, get your GGs in chat. Relkin will qualify at a minimum for the play-in race with the defeat of Megawott to improve to 6-1 here in this Crosskeys tournament. And again, please get your GGs in chat for Megawott, who, unfortunately, due to the issues of his mistracking, could not come up with the hammer in Ice Palace.
And I believe in just a minute we'll have Relkin in here to share some thoughts about the seeds. There we go. GG.
Hey guys, GG.
So, the unfortunate thing for Megawatt, which was very fortunate for you, how about that hammer placement?
Yeah, that was some placement for it, yeah.
Yes.
I guess he forgot about the ice, or he forgot about that corner of the world. I don't know.
So he wound up doing Icebreaker to get to the big key chest, but did not complete the route down to the spike. So then he went through the remainder of Ice Palace, and he left right after getting iced tea. Never got the hammer.
Oh, okay then.
And then sat there for quite a while on his screens trying to figure out exactly what he missed. And that was when he pulled the plug on the seed.
I understand.
But
didn't get better with that go mode.
yeah, that swamp small, being nice and tucked away behind. Oh yeah, you gotta get your second castle tower key before going over towards before getting the swamp small there before completing the tower. Just some of these placements were unfortunate here in the seed. What were your thoughts about the seed as a whole?
I felt good about getting that glove off of Magic Bed. I feel like that's easily missable. Um, and then I kind of felt a little bad about getting the boots because I probably should have just gone into Hyrule Castle when I first walked in, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna get stuck through connectors, so I'll just come back in a second, and the boots were just in there. Um, what else? I got to avoid Skull Woods, so that was cool. What else? I felt really torn once I got that thief small key out of the second chest of Castle Tower, because I was like, well, the point of me putting off thieves was to see if I get the small key. So I'll just do this because it's high density and it's like, I don't know. At that point, obviously I knew Megawott had already forfeit and everything, so it didn't really matter to me. But I was like, man, if the race was actually still happening, would I leave or would I just keep going? One of those weird things you got to ask yourself.
Yeah, we were talking about how tempting that well was, and sort of, had probably been on the back of everyone's mind the whole time. So it's definitely a tough call of whether you're supposed to bail out of the tower at that point.
But outside of Thieves Hunt at that point, what else did you really have?
Go kill Armos and go to Skull Woods, which I kept putting off because I didn't have the big key. I think that was. I think I had purple chest as well, but that was pretty much it. I feel like Turok big chest, but that was next to thieves. I was planning on doing the big chest, uh, and thieves in conjunction with each other.
I mean, I don't think there's really much else we could say in regards to the seed, except for it was rather crazy with how some of the item placements turned out to be. But you did pretty solid here, getting this done still in under 2 hours and 10 minutes, and a lot of that has to do with how clean your route was and pretty much how good your execution was.
Yeah. It was just a normal day in the office almost.
Yeah, the
Well,
one thing I would say is you did get to Boots and Moon Pearl a little bit later, but then your routing in Dark World went better because you got Fire Rod, and then you actually wound up going into Ice earlier than Megawatt did. So you would have had a lead in any case just from getting back to Ice sooner.
I see.
and then, of course, the hammer happened, and that kind of sealed the deal. But this does put you at 6-1, which guarantees you at least one more race in this Crosskeys tournament at a minimum. Your thoughts about at least qualifying for the play-in race?
Yeah, that's good news to me because that means it's the best I've done since the very first Crosskeys tournament that I feel like most of us entered, the 2019 one. Uh, I have not done as well. Uh, like I did very poorly in the year after that. I lost immediately in bracket. Um, and then the one after that, I needed to win to get to the play-in race, but then I lost, and so this is the best I've done in the Crosskeys tournament in a while.
So, congratulations on that. And next week, you have a chance to avoid the play-in race and just qualify outright.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Anything that else you want to add, Cool Papa Bell?
I don't think so, other than another GG's for an excellent race.
Yep, thanks for the restream, commentary, tracking, all that jazz as usual. Um, ZSR puts in ZSR gets a lot of us coverage, I feel like.
We certainly try to. But it also helps that we have volunteers that sign up for things. We are a lot more likely to grab something and put it up if we have people signing up for it. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
Sign up! Before we hand the controls back over to Tommel here to wrap things up for the broadcast, it's been a pleasure getting to do this race along with you, Cool Papa Bell, and also big thank you to Ikir and Pi for doing the tracker for us here. So go ahead and take it away, Tommel. I'm Adorado Rick saying thank you for joining us.
All right. I will add my thanks to Rick's. Thank you to Rick. Thank you to Papa for the comment. Thank you to Relkin and Megawatt for putting on a great race. Thank you to our trackers, Akir and Mike. And thank you to everyone else who came out and watched this, because, we don't have people watching. There's no reason to put them on, right? I'm feeling extremely lazy tonight as far as raid targets go, so I'm going to send you over to Bob Ross. And if you're looking for more Crosskeys action, we're going to have another round tomorrow night. Same time. We'll be on ZSR2 instead of this one. We're going to do Artie Walsh versus Alzoon tomorrow night. At the same time, if you like Windraker Randomizer, the winners bracket round 1 for their Season 6 tournament is going to be at the same time on this channel. It's Tanjo versus Pix. So, speaking of which, Pix is understudying me right now. So, give them a watch if you want to do that one. And then on Tuesday, we're going to try to do Ninjembro versus Lin. Do that match for Crosskeys. That's about 6 p.m. Eastern time on that. So a whole bunch of Crosskeys action coming up. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to throw you over to Bob because Bob Ross is great and everyone should watch Bob. We're not clear.
Dreams.
All right, we're not going to go over to Bob because Bob doesn't accept raids. So instead, I'm going to send you guys over to the Otters.
Woo!